Well, a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Flight Deck Sim live stream. Today it's the 31st of July 2024. It's 3 minutes past 4 in the afternoon here in the United Kingdom. We're back in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and for the first ever time, flying an aircraft from TFDi Design, the recent released MD-11. We've got the passenger variant because we've flown the freight variant before with Rotate. Guys, is the music really quiet? I don't know why it's gone so quiet in Spotify. I've got it turned up max, but if you can't hear the music, let me know. But yes, we are doing our inaugural sector in this aircraft. Purchased it yesterday. I've not actually had any liaison with TFDi Design at all. Did a test sector from Rome to Agadir. First ever time we're going to Agadir in Algiers, and yeah, I have to say I quite like the aircraft. It's not too bad at all. So yeah, I did the test sector yesterday. There's some things I don't like. The sounds, for example, I think need a bit of perking, but the automation flies really well. And I think it flies quite accurately with regards to the size of the aircraft, but the landing, I don't know, it's very Microsoft Flight Simulator-ish. It feels like every other jet aircraft I fly, whereas I think, certainly with the Rotate MD-11, it's very unique indeed. Oh, right, give me 2 seconds, guys. I don't know why the music in Spotify is so quiet. I've got that turned up really high. Let me just try one more time with the intro music. Oh, maybe it's something to do with my volume mixer. Two seconds, guys. Pro streamer here, pro streamer. Ah, that's why. Ah, yes, that's better. Hopefully you can hear that now. But yeah, nice to see you all here. Yeah, it's so hot, right. Guys, I actually bought from Amazon a digital thermometer because I was quite interested to know what the temperature is here. That's the current temperature in my office, 28.5 degrees, with my PC on at a million degrees in the corner, so I have to see how hot it gets here later on as well. A little bit croaky still. For those of you who are familiar with the channel, I have suffered from a bit of a chest infection. I'm post that now. I do have some of this, what doctors call post-nasal drip, which is leading to a bit of a hoarse voice, but I feel so much better compared to before. This is just default scenery for Rome Fiumicino with like a sort of a slight modification to sort of make the terminals the right shape, so it does look a bit cartoony, but it's better than nothing at all. And look at this, we're flying Alitalia today. I believe there is an Alpaca Airways airlined MD-11 from TFDi Design in the paint shop as we speak, but we've never flown now defunct Alitalia. It's now ITA Airlines, I think, or something like that. But yeah, it should take around an hour and 20 minutes. Lovely flight over the Mediterranean. The weather's perfect. It's 32 degrees, about 37 over in Algiers today as well, in Algeria, so it's going to be super warm. I always get Algiers and Algeria muddled up. Algeria is the country, Algiers is the city. Never flown to it at all. Who have we got here in chat today? We have Having Store, nice roofs they have in Italy, absolutely. Edo, I love the, yes, the Italy sign there. Hope you're doing well. Stratocast, wow, it's the same temperature as it is in DC. Yeah, super warm here at the moment. Hey Captain, have you seen the new Phoenix update? I haven't flown it recently, Stefan Powell, only V2 update, which was a few months back. PTS, hope you're doing well. Anyone else singing Agadoo when the boss says Agadir? I hope not. Stratocast Slammer, probably that's going to do what we do today. The Vince, ready for some funky stabilizer motion? Yes, it has all those lovely MD-11 audio goodness here today. I didn't find any sound packs for this aircraft, so I'm just using the default sounds here. Again, they're not bad. I just think there's some improvements in other areas that they could make. Luke Zupad, hope you're doing well. 14 months as a member. Hello, mate. Went to swap. I want to swap. I've got 4 degrees here in South Australia. I'd love to swap just for the stream and then swap back, because we've had a lovely time the last 2 weeks. I've been on annual leave, and I was over in Somerset last weekend, and the weather was just perfect. We went to the Thatcher's factory where they have a pub on site, drank lots of cider. There's other branded ciders available. But yeah, feeling good, and back to work, back to reality tomorrow. I'm in the simulator for the next few blocks. But yeah, anyway, what do I know about this aircraft? Purchased it yesterday. It was about £60–70. The MD-11 it's no longer really flown anywhere in the world as a passenger variant. It's been converted mostly as a freighter. This aircraft is really FPS friendly though. And when the Rotate MD-11 came out, that wasn't complete. This feels more complete. I've seen sort of mixed reviews about it, but I've not flown the MD-11, and I can certainly get it from A to B. But this livery I got on the flightsim.io store for free. I can't remember the developer name, but it looks really nice. It's just a really awesome livery. There's not many airlines that painted their branded logo on the wings, but Alitalia was one of them. But anyway, let's take this opportunity to jump into the cockpit. Look at that, what a smooth transition. Oh no, my keyboard's not working. There we go. Right, the first thing you might notice is that there's a giant Q&H sticker. Now I thought, what's going on here? Is this some sort of bug? this is actually in the old Alitalia MD-11 aircraft. If you look on YouTube, I think I've linked the video and we'll look at it later, they had a giant sticker in it that said Q&H. I don't know if it was to remind the crew to set it, but I looked at it, I was like, what's happened here? But no, that is genuine. So yes, you can't fly this aircraft in America, it would seem, but you've got to only set Q&H, but I thought that was quite random. Cool. Now this aircraft I've flown, as I said before, in the rotate variant in X-Plane 12. The cold and dark setup, there really isn't many buttons you need to push. It's already really configured, but I'm sort of following that. And there is bizarrely a checklist available online from the PMDG MD-11, which I've been using before in the past when I flew the rotate, which I've re-downloaded and I'll be using that today. Mauritius, I send you MD-11 manuals on Discord. Thank you very much, Mauritius. That's very kind. I haven't looked at Discord just before the stream, but I do have access to all the rotate stuff and all the PMDG MD-11 manuals as well. But yeah, I fly it like a 7.3, works quite well. Stefan, it settles arguments in the cockpit, absolutely, with the Q&H. Ian, thank you very much, 50 months as a member. You could do a big door sticker, boss. Oh, aren't you funny, Ian Perez? Ian Perez, a member of the channel, also a pilot on the Boeing 737 series aircraft. I can't find my sarcastic round of applause emoji soundbite. Oh, it's too slow now. I've missed the opportunity. No, I haven't. There it is. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Yes, occasionally I forget to close doors prior to pushback. Unbelievable. Mauritius, never mind. They were the PMDG ones. Well, thank you very much for dropping me the message anyway and to send the manuals. But yes, I am using those today. Cool. Right, let's turn up the simulator sounds. Get some power onto the aircraft. So batteries here. And we'll get the external power connected as well, which is just... Oh, it's not actually plugged in here. So, I think that's under services, set the wheel chocks, and connect the GPU. There we go.
Autopilot.
Many MD-11 sounds have started, so we've got some electrical power connected to the aircraft. So generally the sounds are okay. What I've noticed is things like selecting reverse thrust, turning on the APU bleed on, it's like there's no gradual increase in wind noise, it's just off or on, so that's something that they sort of, I think, need to fix here, but hopefully there'll be some sort of sound improvement in the future. So the EFB is good. It's pretty basic. You can link it with your sim brief profile. So I've already filed my flight plan. So there it is. You can then send all that data. So for example, this is quite nice. I like features like this. So set payload and fuel. So if I press this, you'll see it hunker down a bit. There you go. So we've got 280 passengers. And the block fuel now loaded into the aircraft instantly. You can see here in the fuel gauges, looks 6.2 in each one of the fuel tanks, which is all now loaded. Payload here, you can just see your data here, basically synced with SimBrief if you want to. It's got a takeoff performance and landing performance calculator. You've got now it does this every single time. This is the fourth time I fired up this aircraft. Every single time I fire it up, it seems to log me out of charts, then I have to re-sign in to get the charts on the tablet. The problem is the charts, they're not as good as in other tablets, say with Phoenix or even the PMDG, in the fact that it just shows you the chart. I like the fact that with PMDG, Phoenix and other add-ons, they actually show the aircraft logo, but you can also star them. Here you can't star them, unfortunately. So I mean, I might re-log in again and get them, but we'll have a look later. We've already seen the services, panel states and options. So it is a basic tablet, better than nothing, but it's pretty basic indeed. Edo, yeah, it happens to me with the desktop version. Oh dear, so yeah, I think that's quite a common issue. Right, so we've got the fuel and passengers loaded. Let's do a little bit of a panel scan up here. So we'll start right at the top here. So it's pretty interactive. All the switches mostly work. We'll do engine and APU fire test. We'll hold that down.
Engine 1 fire.
It's literally called bitching Betty, isn't it?
Engine 3 fire.
Excellent. So we've done the tests there. We'll do the EGPWS test as well.
Pull up.
We'll guard that.
Terrain. Pull up.
When you put the IRS to nav, it does the cargo fire test. That's a little perk with the MD-11.
Pull up.
Yay, arcade!
Pull
It is brilliant.
up.
So IRS to nav.
Don't
We'll leave these switches
Don't
here as they
sink.
are. Cargo temperatures, we'll leave
Too
the
low.
default ignition
Terrain.
one off for now.
Too low.
All
Gear.
these switches
Too low.
for the
Flat.
electrical panel,
Too low.
the fuel and the
Terrain.
hydraulics are already configured,
Flight
ready for
slope.
flight. It's all automated,
low,
very
terrain.
Airbusy. Oh, sorry about the
Caution,
GPWS sounds,
terrain.
guys. It's very Airbusy
Caution,
here.
terrain.
Fuel-wise, we're all
Terrain,
configured enough.
terrain. Pull
Annoyingly,
Pull
on that
up.
tablet down here, you can't bring up the SimBrief operational flight plan. Oh, wow, I didn't even realise these pages were here until just now. Oh, very good. Well, better late than never. I won't fiddle with that today. So, yeah, the only way I can show you the flight plan is to bring up SimBrief. Here, press Flights, View SimBrief OFP. So you can see here, 18528 is the block fuel, which I've highlighted here. And you can see here, we've got the... Where's the fuel quantity? There you are, 18550. So we've got the bare minimum amount of fuel on board. But the weather's really nice, there's no VATSIM events, so we'll take that standard block fuel today. It includes taxi fuel, etc, etc. And then we'll step through the routing later. But yeah, it's all configured. We've got the fuel on board. We've best placed the nav lights on. Working here, we've got yaw damper and flight controls. Cabin pressurisation, it's all automated, of course. And then we'll leave the rest as it is. So that is the overhead panel pretty much all set up. So we'll just fire up GSX. Request boarding. We'll use ADR Aeroporti di Roma. There we are. So that should attach the jet bridge and all the facilities. We've got 280 passengers today. Excuse me, I'm going to have a little cough. There we go. Vision Think, thank you very much. 26 months a member, just over 2 years. I don't get a chance to watch you very much, Sam, but great to see you still bamboozling us with switches and beepers and alarms. Long may it continue. Thank you very much, Vision Think, for popping in and for your considerable amount of time as a member. Really appreciate it, buddy. I hope you're doing well. James, great looking upper panel as well. Yeah, it's very archaic and old school, but it is Airbusy and very automated. In fact, what we'll do, because what is the outside air temperature? I think it's over 30. Yeah, look, 31 degrees. We'd best turn the APU on and get some cool air into the cabin. So we'll put the APU power on. That blink's available to allow the APU to start. And I have to say, the FMC is really nicely modelled in this aircraft. Seems to be most of the pages seem to be all there, and it has got that very much that original retro FMC feel, very similar to the FMC in Boeing aircraft, of course. We'll press B, the magic button, to set the QNH, reminded by the massive sticker. And just before we load the actually no, we'll load the FMC now, and then we'll do another panel scan. So FMC1. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. Update the nav database. It's a little old. In fact, I think it's really old, but the good news is it is all synced. I forget to do this every single time. So that's good. We're offline anyway, and I can get the routing in. So if you go to your tablet, you can sort of take the easy way in, which is what it will do here, and you can look send flight plan to FMC, and all it will do is load the lateral routing. That's it. So we've done that. You can see there's Fiumicino to Algiers. The capital of Algeria. We'll just put some other information in, so let's grab our alternate. So our alternate is Constantine, which is also in Algeria, and the code is, just scroll down here, Delta Alpha Bravo Charlie. The cost index is 20. We're cruising at flight level 390. Call sign, and am I right up here? Alpha Zulu Alpha, was that the correct ICAO code for Alitalia? Alpha Zulu Alpha, I went for 11 Mike Delta. You might work out why I got that call sign in today. Good, we'll initialise the IRS and get the information in there. Having Store said, I bet you'll forget that Navigraph window at least once today. What are you on about? Edo, pizza, brilliant. I hope you're doing well as well, buddy. Claudio, I had a nostalgic moment when I saw the livery. Worked for Alitalia 10 years before they went bankrupt. Thanks for bringing those colours back again, Captain. You're most welcome, Claudio. Ciao. Welcome on board. Mr. Unicorn, pro tip when landing flaps at flat 35, 64, 78% M1. Depending on your weight and speed, flare at 50 feet and pitch to 7 to 8 degrees. Just hold her off and she'll gently settle down on the runway. Yes, I've done 2 landings and both of them were furbish. We'll have to see how we got on today. Tamango, flight level 390, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty high, but obviously we don't have a long flight today, around an hour and 20 minutes, even though we do have 290 passengers and some cargo. You can see the cargo is being loaded on right now as we speak. Cool, that's all done. So let's now fine-tune the routing. Bring up Navigraph for you here as well. Just hide the charts. So, flight plan, this is very Airbusy now, so Fiumicino, SID, it's going to be runway 25 for departure, which is the preferred runway for departure in Fiumicino. Now, classic Italy, if you have a look on the flight plan, it'll give you this SID, the Asino 7 Hotel, but you need to select a transition first to get to, in this case, Sosac. So I did a bit of digging, and we want to actually fly the Sosac, well there's two, we're going to fly the shorter of the two, the Sosac 5 Delta, which takes you to Sosac, and then it's the Asino 7 Hotel transition. So Sosac 5 Delta, Asino 7 Hotel transition, and runway 25, insert. We'll check for any discontinuities, which there isn't, and we'll go all the way into Agadir, and here in Algiers in Algeria. What am I saying Agadir for? There's no arrival, there's no stars. If you select star, you'll see it's blank. So what we're going to do is fly straight in off ILS 23, which is the current runway in use. We'll select the transition as the VOR to the east of the airport. We'll insert that, and we'll just clear the discontinuity from the termination of the routing Limon and then route direct to Zulu Echo Mike. And that has covered the lateral routing. It's all in there. We just now need to do our performance initialization. So that's all in. Block fuel is 18.5 tons. Can you just line select key that? You can. The takeoff gross weight is in 187.9. So again, if we head over to the flight plan, you'll see the actual load is 188.1. The gross weight's that, but you can see it's slightly less because it's taken into account the taxi fuel, which will have burned prior to takeoff. The CG, again, you can just line select keys this and it'll just copy the correct takeoff CG and zero fuel weight CG, so that's all in. And then lastly on this page, I think it's to do with fuel dumping and different things like that, so we'll leave that all set. Lastly then, we have the performance to do, so we'll utilise the performance calculator that's included, which is quite nice to see. So Fiumicino, runway 25. They've got information on slope, which is quite cool to see. Unfortunately, you can't select an intersection, so you only have full length available, so 3,307 meters. You can see that's the takeoff run, full length. So that's all good, and I think you can get the weather information straight from the sim. There you go, so 2608, so runway 25 for departure for sure, 31 degrees. QNH is 1012. Why did Alitalia put that in? Takeoff weight we can copy from the FMS. What we'll do, we'll use our current gross weight to be conservative, which is, where was that information on the init page, I believe. Next page. There we go. We'll go 187 point. No, we'll use the actual one now. 188.1. So I think you have to type that in manually. Oh, it's in kilograms. Well, let's put that there. Flex, anti-ice off, optimum flaps. Packs will be on. Get takeoff weight. Oh no, that's still get the actual takeoff weight. Well, that's fine. Calculate. There we go. We've got our speeds. 34, 35, 52, flap 25 with a flex temperature of 59 degrees. So that's under the takeoff page. Flap 25. 5.2 units of trim. Here's the gauge for the trim. We'll set that now. Oops, wrong way. Oh, it's like running away. What's going on? There we go. Green text FMC got that Matrix vibe, absolutely. There you are, so trim set within the green band and limits. Slope wind, so it was 0 slash. Oh god, how do you put the headwind in? Headwind 8 knots. Let me see if I can remember. Slash. Is it HD08? No, what is it? Someone remind me. Slash. Or do you, no slash. I thought it was HW maybe. HW08. No, how do you get the Akadu? Stop it, guys. How do you get that in? Temperature was that for the flex temperature here? No, flex goes to the top, 59. There we are, and the outside temperature is 32. Damn it, 32C. Was it F? Oh, no, Fahrenheit, no! I've confused it. Perfect. HD slash HD. And then 08 or just 8. Or just an H? Oh, /H. I did this earlier on my test sector perfectly, and I can't remember what I did. Yeah, I did it! Oh, fun. Oh dear. I did it. Check confirm speeds. They're all in. 34, 35, 52. They are magenta. And now, this is the thing I noticed on my test sector. When I put the AP bleed on, listen. It's like instant air. It's like, psh, I'm sure that would be like a gradual increase in noise. But we've got the AP bleed on. The packs have taken up the load, so we've got some nice conditioned air coming into the cabin. Perfect. So we've done everything. Okay, let's just give ourselves a little bit of a briefing before we push back and get on our way. So there is no ATC here. Oh wait, there is a center controller. 124.2. Maybe they will provide us ATC. There is ATIS here for Fiumicino. So let's just grab the weather. And we can then try and grab the clearance.
S. Runway in use, runway 16 left ILS Whiskey and runway 16 right ILS Zulu. Transition
No, they're using 16. I thought they were using runway
Wind,
25 here.
Touchdown, 260 degrees, 8 knots. Stop end, 260 degrees, 8 knots. Cav OK. Temperature 31 degrees, 2.22 degrees. QNH 1012 hectopascals. Advise you have received ATIS information. Alpha.
I think that's Alpha.
This is Fiumicino Airport arrival
Saying
and
16 though,
departure
but they always use
information
25.
Alpha at time 1450. Departure runway in use 25. Time
Ah, there
of
we go.
approach
That's what I wanted.
dependent ILS. Runway in use runway 16 left ILS Whiskey and runway 16 right ILS Zulu. Transition level 75. Wind, touchdown, 260 degrees.
Perfect. So, yeah, they are using runway 25 for departure. So what I'm going to do is get the clearance from the center controller. So Roma radar. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does say 285 and above though, so he's not providing ATC on his little box. So Roma radar, CPDL. Oh, CPDL-C 285 and above.
Via Quebec.
Yeah, he's providing taxi instructions, so I'll get the clearance. No, they're very English-speaking Italians back here.
Lufthansa 9 Mike, right heading 130, clear the rest of whiskey 16 left, airport dispatch.
Carrier temperature in the office.
28.7.
28.7. But there's a lovely dry 41% humidity. Cost me about £3 off Amazon this, what a bargain. Oh really, Lewis, Retro, just 8, if I put 8 in that would have worked.
Flight of 170, Arbum to Charlie Rifle, ILS Zulu, runway 28, minus 68 Alpha Yankee.
Roma Centre Chow, it's Alitalia 11 Mike Delta in Fiumicino. Are you providing ATC for departure? Alitalia 11 Mike Delta and copied information Alpha QNH 1012 and departure clearance please to Algiers.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta clear to Algiers. Zach 5 Delta departure, Avino 7 Hotel transition, runway 25, initial climb 4000, squawk 5577.
Clear to Algiers on the Sosac 5 Delta, Isino 7 Hotel transition for runway 25, climb altitude 4,000 feet, squawk 5577, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, read the code.
Perfect, so that's what we're expecting. Great to have some ATC. So 4,000 feet is set on the MCP. It's low stop altitude. The squawk will pop in, which is 5577. And I forgot to set the runway QDM here on the MCP 247 degrees. It's a bit fiddly this. this.
Nomadic 145.
Perfect. So a little bit of a briefing, and then we'll get ready for pushback, and that's boarding complete. So that's quite good timing.
Algiers 6,000 feet to QNH 1012, Nomadic 145.
Oh, he's got like a proper headset on. He sounded really realistic.
016, Nomadic 145.
So we're in Fiumicino. We're on stand 503, pushback to face northeast. Charlie Foxtrot, and then we'll take Delta, maybe crossing over to Papa. Eventually we'll get over to Bravo, and then we'll taxi all the way for full length departure runway 25. As initially discussed, we'll be cleared on the Casino 7 Hotel, which takes us to RF 777, 410 feet, and then it's 217. Where's the track in here? I don't think it shows track, does it? And like the FFC and the Boeing aircraft. So then we have RF 786, and then we have SOSAC. So it is all cleared in there. There's a maximum speed of 200 knots for that departure, but I'll do my best to maintain that speed. And yeah, it's got the altitude restrictions in at above 3,000 at SOSAC. And then the next part is from SOSAC, very short leg to Torley, and then from Torley we're going to route direct to Messino at above 90. Or sorry, 100 for, depending on your airway, so I think we're routing on one of those there. Perfect, so we have covered everything. Let's now get ready for pushback. We leave this set to 250 knots apparently, according to the tutorial I've been watching. I've just realised, oh look, I've not actually got the QNH set. Oh, how do you switch over to QNH? Oh.
Request the 1 November, the short-term temporary departure.
I'm trying to get this over to QNH. How do I? This is fiddly. There we go. I think I've done it. Wait, what? Oh, hold on. I'm doing that. I'm pressing the wrong button. This button, 1013. Thanks. My apologies, guys. QFE QNH button.
Galaxy 1 November, runway 24, climb 6,000.
So prepare for pushback and departure.
Charlie, thank you.
There we are. So the little stairs at the rear and the air bridge is detaching.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Hello, Captain.
550
Bud Lights, one call aircraft. Yeah, it's got a nice cabin as well. Cabin interior. I've saved my wing views already, but we'll have a little look on the cabin on this short sector. 280 passengers. I think it's 282 seats, so we are completely full.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Perfect. So I'll show you what I'm following here in the background. Hopefully it'll open. So here's the PDF. This is a PMDG MD-11 checklist. Someone said to me. Well, I used it for the Rotate MD-11 as well. So I'll follow that for the whole sector.
Locking gear.
Perfect. So just getting to the prior to pushback procedure. So prior to pushback, auxiliary hydraulic pump 1 comes on. Parking brake verifies set, which it is. APU's on the bus already, so we'll go here to services. Remove the chocks, disconnect GPU. And it's beacon ignition and you start the engines. Oh, great, not these pushback directions. Nose right, tail left. I always get it wrong. So I want nose left. Nose to go left. Tail to go right. Correct? And that says right. But I've... Yeah, I think it's correct. I instinctively want to... Let me just move Navigraph out of the way. I instinctively want to press nose right, tail left. No, sorry, nose left. So that means if you look at my mouse cursor here, it goes that way. But I think it's the other one, isn't it? I think it's from the nose left, yeah. I think that's... it doesn't make sense, but I know it's opposite.
Release backing brakes.
I'm getting better at remembering to remove
Release
Navigraph.
backing brakes.
Initial climb 4000, squawk 1000.
Lufthansa 12 to Munich.
Release backing brakes.
What do you guys think of this aircraft? I know some people have been streaming this quite a bit. I quite like it. It's very similar to the one in X-Plane with Rotate.
Release backing brakes.
It's a Foxtrot, are you backward?
Is that their left or your left? I don't know, Cat. I think it's their left.
Release backing brakes.
Whatever I think it is, if I select the opposite one, it's correct.
Italite 00 Heavy, Roma Ciao, cleared Algiers, Ozak 5 Delta departure,
Release backing
07
brakes.
hotel transition, runway 25, initial climb.
Is it having stall? And then I would have said it was the opposite.
5544.
Turn up the screens actually.
Release backing brakes.
All the display lights look are down here. I like to turn them all the way up.
Release backing brakes.
Yes, I'm trying. Yeah, the quality's really nice, I think.
Italia 800, backward.
Release backing brakes.
And Roma Centre Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, stand 503 in Fiumicino, request push and start.
Italia 11 Mike Delta, push and start.
Release backing brakes.
QNH 1012.
Push start approved, QNH 1012, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. Yes, reminder, QNH 1012.
Release backing brakes.
Yes, I am. Ciao, ciao.
Roman Radar, Mike Barrow 802.
All engines clear.
Fiumicino,
Started with.
information Alpha A321 Neo, looking
Perfect.
for
On our way.
IFR to Algiers.
So let's now start ignition on, which turns the packs off automatically. And the sequence it suggests in the tutorial is 312. So start engine number 3. So I think the engine start sounds are okay actually. Nice from the cockpit. Outside, small volume. So we have N2, oil pressure, N1, 15% fuel on. James Kent, most seem to say the sound's the only issue. I think it's quite a good add-on. I think if they priced it, if it's quite expensive, I think if it was closer to sort of Phoenix price. So what was it? What was it? Spend 65, 70 quid for both variants. I think those engine start sounds inside are actually quite good. So 3, lights extinguished. We can start engine number 1. Now you can hear that just increase of noise though. It's suddenly.
That's 90 Mike, contact tower on 1, 2,
Yeah, they're okay.
118, that's not bad.
Oh, 15% we've passed already. Fuel on. Some bloodline. What's on the in-flight meal menu today? Yes, pasta, pizza.
Set backing brakes.
Looks like they're not flush, or that probably is correct. I don't know. Right, set parking brake.
Waiting for your confirmation for good engine start.
Roger. Starting engine number 2.
Alpha 7 Romeo is perfectly fine, just a squawk 1000.
Scope 1000 for Ryanair 49 Romeo.
So we have N2.
6 Quebec Hotel, radar contact, climb level 180.
180 Delta 6.
Austrian line
Oil pressure.
climb to level 340.
N1, 15% we've already passed. Fuel on.
Genera 542, request to leave the cockpit for 5 minutes, please.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
Bit early, but
You can disconnect.
should be okay.
Unlocking gear.
Yankee descend to 6000 on QNH 10. 1012.
Nice. It is an iconic commercial aircraft, isn't it? It's an awesome livery as well. I looked at all the passenger variants and I thought, oh, that Italian one looks great. It does taxi like a pig though. I find it quite tricky to do tight turns. Anything over 6 knots, massive airships.
will code Mark 145.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Perfect. So we'll do the after start procedure. So
This is clear. Right is clear.
Engine and wing anti-ice isn't required. APU bleed off. APU off. And flaps to 25. So we've got. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to do dial the flap. So dial the flap in you want. So 25. So slats, and then 25 for the trailing edge devices. And I think the only way to see the flaps is under the config page. Unless you can tell me otherwise. But yeah, you can see they're in 25, which is good. I'll check the flight controls. Flight controls. Forwards. Left. Right. Rudders. Right. And left. So we need to arm the speed brake. Put these to take off. Oh yeah, I forgot to do a few other things. Seatbelts on. And on the emergency lights. It's all good.
9 Papa Mike is with you, level 370.
Yes. There we go. Zone temp selector off. And turn the beacon on. A few things I forgot. A few things I forgot. Not unfamiliar aircraft. There, I think we've done the after takeoff. After start checklist.
9 Papa Mike.
There's a flat position on the PFD. I can remember seeing it on the rotate MD-11 somewhere. I think the default one is to have the engine display on, but there's no information about flaps there.
Roma radar, Volta 2323, Volta 340.
200 seatbelt departure. No.
Volta 2323, Roma Charles.
Ah, very good. Very good. Thanks, Bone. So if you have a disagree or an asymmetry or something like that, where would that flag up?
Level 210, standby, Volta 2323.
Roma Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, request taxi.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, and all the guys on the ground in Rome Fiumicino. Tower is online on 118.7.
Ciao.
Ciao. Volotea 2323.
Useful for him.
Minka 3 Romeo arrival, ILS Zulu 05.
So we've gone over to Tower, he's online.
1 Tower, Speaker, 45 Tango, Commission, Bravo, Quest, Speaker, Heathrow, Central 7. Correction, 706.
We've got some music on in the background. Sound burning all the fuel.
45
Where's the fuel flow?
Clear your
1800 kilos now.
London, Heathrow via Xenol, 5 Alpha standard departure, Nimbo 7 Alpha transition of running to 5, climb 4000 feet, squawk 5507.
One thing as well, can you hear that clicking sound? That's from the vibrator in the altimeter. If you go in the cabin, it's louder. So I don't understand that. That's something they need to fix. Oh yeah, Tomago, this is the first airplane.
Rebel 45 Tango, Rebecca is correct.
Trying to get in there, guys.
Alitalia 800 push and start up to 3 feet north.
Tower Chow, it's Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. I've just finished pushback on Charlie Foxtrot, request taxi.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta taxi, all big point Bravo Alpha runway 25 via Charlie Foxtrot, Papa and Bravo.
Taxi holding point Bravo Alpha for runway 25 via Charlie Foxtrot, Papa and Bravo, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. Perfect, we've got our clearance. We'll put on the taxi lights and the turn-off lights. Release the parking brake. And just like in the 737, you can do a config check. Make sure the config warning horn doesn't go off. I've got a master caution for zone temp selector off. Where? I can't see any master cautions. Zone temp. It's going to be somewhere down here. Anyone knows how to fix this, it'd be greatly appreciated. Charlie Foxtrot, and then we're going to go Papa and then Bravo. So as we actually wanted to do. There's no taxiway markings here, unfortunately, because it's default scenery. Love it. Left of the overhead for the cargo, I think. Don't know. I didn't have that on the test section. There's a giant colourful aviator or something over there. So even idle, it does this weight want to keep moving forward quite nicely. So this left here is Golf, which is correct on the taxiway sign, and this is Papa. Oh, it's actually the taxi markings are correct. Oh, I turned the zone temp off. The knob on the left, Mr. Unicorn. Whereabouts on the left? So I try not to. I can't. Don't taxi. Clear left. They must have an altimeter in the back. So loud out there. Left overhead cargo temp. Thanks, guys. I'll just get onto taxiway Bravo. Crocky. There we go. Middle left.
Fuji 1 Tower, Icaro 802.
Thanks.
West taxi.
Alitalia 802.
Just testing you guys, well done.
Point, Bravo runway.
So far so good. Setup was
November,
pretty straightforward. Taxi's quite nicely, I'd expect with sort of idle thrusted to sort of hold its speed quite nicely, which it is, but tight turns lining up is quite tricky with the rudder pedals.
Number 2 to depart 1012 Icaro 802.
Fiumicino Tower, good evening, service 185.
So just doing the before takeoff checklist. So flaps 25, spoilers are armed, flight controls we've checked, establishment 5.2 units set, takeoff data has all been armed and reviewed, and next is just when we line up. We've got a little green box down here which confirms the aircraft's ready for departure.
Aero service 185, ciao Fiume Tower, clear your final destination via Xibri 8 Bravo, standard departure.
Airports on here.
9 Alpha transition, runway 16 right, climb.
So that's 26 knots now, so just a little bit of brakes just to slow down.
Clear to destination via
Awesome
Xibri
route.
Bravo, Pebis 9 Alpha.
What's these, the cannons?
Right, transponder 5516 and initially 4000. 185 ready for start and push.
Aero service 185, the back is correct, push start approved, increasing
Perfect.
west.
Facing west, start and push.
Bravo Alpha is the second left.
185.
I have taken off this runway many times before.
Lufthansa to Papa Foxtrot, taxi holding point Bravo Alpha, runway 25 via November Hotel, November Golf,
Perfect.
November and Bravo.
Thank you very much, James Coach. I've seen your donation. Very kind. $10.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Cheers, buddy.
Yes, and November Golf, November and Bravo, holding point Bravo Bravo.
Don't get to participate in a live stream very often, but rarely miss watching. Great channel.
Thank you very much, James.
Italia 11 Mike Delta, runway 25, clear for takeoff, wind 260 degrees and 9 knots.
Right, 25 clear takeoff, Alitalia 11 by Delta. Very kind of you, James Cook. Thank you very much for the $10 and coming in for the United States as well. Good morning, I should say to you. Very kind indeed. Right, clear takeoff, guys. So lights on, landing lights on, strobes on. We'll have nav. We press auto flight once, so we get takeoff clamp, and just the transponder to TARA and the weather radar. And weather observance. So lining up is quite tricky. I'm doing a sort of a gentle turn, because if I go full left on the tiller, it just doesn't turn tightly at all. That's full left I've got now, full left. It's just... Cool. It's getting there. Right, Toga's in chat, so I don't need to remember a timer, it's all automatic. That's full left on the tiller at 1 knot. As soon as I straighten up though, it accelerates very quickly. I think I've done everything. If I've forgotten anything, chat, let me know quickly. TCAS out reporting on. Oh no! I thought I put it on TARA. I'm only rolling down the runway. Oh, we'll have to fix that later. Right, just stand them up and it should automatically clamp on. There it goes. Clamps in. Set takeoff thrust. Looking for 102.4. Light forward pressure. Now takeoff thrust set indications normal. 80 knots. Release forward pressure. And then it doesn't change the thrust usually there. Just fine tune at 102.4. V1. Rotate. Oh, it knows really wants to come up on its own. Really light. Crikey. Atmospheric climb.
Rome Tower 074 at speed 403. Aircraft that's an Airbus.
Yeah, it rotated on its own.
The info Bravo requesting at part of Barcelona.
Just 20 degrees nose up. Nav's engaged.
The Darrow 7 standby for clearance number 1, I believe.
Trimming nose down.
Standby for clearance.
So profile. It's now going to accelerate for us.
Italia 11 Mike Delta, squawk mode Charlie, please.
Squawk mode Charlie, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. Where's ident? There we go. Now it's accelerating and it's gone to hold at 4,000 feet. So lower the nose. Now above the FR speed, it's commanding 205 knots, so flaps retracted. 1 to go.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, contact Roma Reader 125.5.
125.5, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, bye. And slats retracted, it's now going to accelerate to 250 knots, getting ready to level off at 4,000 feet. Trimming nose down.
Stabilizer motion.
There we are.
Stabilizer motion.
So the autothrottle will look after my 250 knots. We'll just level off at 4,000.
Altitude.
I say the autothrottle is going to maybe do like 2,500 feet. There we are. So there we are, level. Let's get the autopilot in because of my workload, guys. So autopilot is in blue, and then we'll contact departures. It's a different frequency now. 125.5. There we are. Oops, wrong frequency. Roma, hello, it's Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. We're on the SOSAC 5 Delta, Venesino 7 Hotel, transition, maintaining 4,000 feet.
Good pomeriggio, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, Roma, only secondary track detected. Check transponder mode Charlie.
Stand by. Oops. That's what you were saying earlier. There we are. Just show me mode Charlie now, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, Roma, radar contact, climb flight level 230, fly direct to Esino.
Fly flight level 230, direct to Esino, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. Oh, this is really fiddly. I just want to set 23,000. It climbs automatically. Crikey. So 230, direct to Esino. Insert. Oh, no. Oh, yes, direct to Esino. Excellent. Set standards. Pull. After takeoff checklist. We can now do... this is going well. So initial climb after takeoff checklist. So auto flight automation's in. We've retracted the flaps. We're at 250 knots. Fully retracted the flaps. And gears up. Air panels set. Disarm the speed brake. RTO to off. Check pressurization. So cabin altitude is 1,500 feet, climbing at 800 feet per minute. So that sounds like we're pressurizing normal. And altimeter's standard set, passing 86, flight level 230. After takeoff check is complete. Guys, what do you think of the departure? It was a busy one, but I think we did it all safely and correctly. I'm pretty pleased with that. Gotta remember, I don't fly this tank in real life. Car, so far, how does this compare to the Rotate? There's elements I like. The beauty of Microsoft Flight Simulator, obviously being in this sim. I don't have to load any scenery. But yeah, the handling, like, it took off there. If you play back the video, it rotated on its own. So when at V1 and then when I rotate, as soon as I put a little bit of back pressure, I know it's just shot up on its own. I don't know if that's quite realistic enough. And then handling, it feels like you're flying a big 3-engine trijet, to be fair. But yeah, all the systems seem to be working really nicely. Really do like it. And, you know, I purchased the aircraft yesterday. I'm not affiliated, not been told to say anything at all, as I never am. Right, there we are, direct to Sino. We're past flight level 100. Let's do the pre-cruise check. So, fuel. We've got 5.5 tons in each tank. Lights off. APU's off. Pressurization. Let's just check that here. So that'll be under the air systems. So diff pressure 4 psi. So we are pressurizing. Cabin rate to climb 700 feet per minute. And that's set. I don't think there's any way of checking recall or the systems, but I think if we go into status, it's all good. We'll release the passengers. There we are. Pre-cruise checks complete. No gear lock on this plane, no Tamango. I think it's quite Airbusy and 737 Maxi in the way that it probably depressurises the hydraulics holding the gear up.
Climb now, flight level 210,
Awesome. So nicely established on the SID. Don't think this one displays aircraft. No, unfortunately not. We're already routing direct to Asino. Routing's really cool. It's going to take us southwest, right over Corsica's the north, Sardinia. So right over Sardinia, then right over the Mediterranean, east of the Balearic Islands, all the way to Algiers.
Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, contact Roma radar, frequency 124.2, thank you for flying, ciao.
124.2, Alitalia 1 Mike Delta, ciao. I love this call sign, Alitalia. Rolls off the tongue really nicely.
Roma Center, Junction 1, Takeoff 5 minutes out of cockpit.
Approach Quebec, break, 2.9 X-ray Charlie, wind.
Beautifully day today. Really nice day to go flying.
Make a port, please, for takeoff to Sunderland, X-ray Charlie.
Roma Center, hello again, it's Alitalia 11 Mike Delta, climbing flight level 230 direct to Abidu.
11 Mike Delta, Roma Ciao, radar contact, climb 390 direct Usepi.
Climb flight level 390 direct to Usepi, Alitalia 11 Mike Delta. So 390. It's really fiddly this. 390.
Let's 05 and move for the
set direct to Usepi.
Carana 6032 via Orte, Vertiate LS028.
Usepi. Inserts. Alnow's available. Usepi is. Let me just bring the map up for myself. There we go. It's right on the west coast of Sardinia. Beautiful. Climbing very well. 2,600 feet per minute, just passing flight level 200 at 305 knots. Oh, am I in profile mode? Yes, I think it is. Pitch and climb thrust. Hi, ZZS99. Thanks for flying in Italy. Best regards from Roma Radar. Thank you very much for the ATC, sir. Hi Audrey, Andrew, some more RUS, doing well. Alex, great departure captain, ready for mine in real life out of Hanoi in a few minutes. Oh, very cool. Middle seat and boarding complete, so it should be a good flight. Have to leave soon, but have a good flight. Take care Alex, and have a safe flight as well. I like you flying in real life.
Captain Takeoff runway 05, baggage 2131.
Liam, 57 months, managed to catch a live stream first time in ages. Good to see you stream. Thank you very much, Liam. Thank you indeed, and well done to Liam flying solo yesterday. It's Liam. I got it wrong. I'm gonna get that wrong now. You went solo yesterday, didn't you, or the day before? Congratulations. Thank you very much for your help at moderating and your membership. Anthony, good morning, boss. Just popping in. Busy day at work. Hoping you don't give Jim your post-nasal drip. don't make me laugh. It makes me cough. We all know that with large shots he would be producing buckets of this stuff. Brilliant. Thanks, Anthony. Oh dear. Liam, sorry, I got a bit of a. I read it and I was like, it was you, wasn't it, Liam? I got so many people to remember. Liam, ladies and gentlemen, give a massive congratulations to Liam in chat, one of my moderators, who joined the channel years ago. He just flew solo yesterday, or not yesterday, this week. He flew solo this week for the first ever time. Massive congratulations.
Landing level 180.
Press FMS on MSP should be blank. Thanks, Bone. Cheers. So there's little quirks like this with the MD-11, which I don't fly this aircraft. But when I set up this aircraft from cold and dark, pretty much all of this is configured. I guess it's the same. You really don't have to probably do much here unless there's a fault.
Eurowings 12 Echo Rome Fiumicino.
Home radar, good evening. The Eurowings 12 Echo.
Awesome. You see Sardinia ahead. Corsica off to the right. What a fantastic day today.
Eurowings 12 Echo, radar contact.
Home radar, left Germany.
What a tank.
Roger, contact. I don't have any request from you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so it's annoying. Is this known? I don't know if anyone else flies this. Every time you fire up the aircraft, you have to relog in to get your charts. But there isn't really en route much more you can do. You can't obviously adjust your payload en route, so that's fine. A lot of information from SimBrief here. But it'd be nice to be able to bring up the SimBrief flight plan, the OFB.
This is the 1 to Echo, Luro 3 November arrival, RMC 207, advice for duty for
Wuxian known and documented for bumps in the game, I'm afraid. Thanks for the heads up on that, Wuxian. At least I know it's not an issue my side. But again, when you do fire up the charts, it's just the charts, which is fair enough, but it'd be nice to be able to star them and see the aircraft icon as well. Floating charger. No, actually, to be fair to them, I think it's sort of, they've wrapped it around the tablet. Now, one thing I do like is the fact you can actually move your camera outside. Now, the audio should change, but that's probably why you can hear the vibrator in the altimeter still, even in the cabin. Engine animations are a bit funky. They're okay.
And 2000 feet per minute per grader and
Boeing Sim Pilot, are there any good Bombardier CRJ families for X-912? Not that I know of.
With 2,000
barreling up past 30,000 feet, airborne in 10 minutes, very light.
Roma radar, Italo 872, flight level 166, climbing 230.
Glitch in the fan plane matrix. So ETA.
Outbound vacation air 2131.
Under the progress page, runway 23 at 16:57. So just under an hour, isn't it?
180 vacation air 2131.
With 8.4 tons on board, 7.7 the alternate. So I think the fuel burn's pretty close to SimBrief. Excuse me. And this is the General Electric CF6 engines on this aircraft, I think. Boeing Sim Pilot, getting a new PC. What specs would you recommend for Microsoft Flight Simulator? Well, here's my specs. I think there's a newer, there is a new, fancier graphics card, isn't it? The 4080, which I think is probably the next generation. But I'm waiting probably for the next graphics update from graphics card update from Nvidia before I update my PC. My PC will be 3 years old this year, and it works really well. Microsoft Flight Sim, and I run all my streaming software off it as well. Yeah, they're still managing 2,000 feet per minute above 35,000 feet nearly.
I descend on 130 with 3,000.
Now, one thing I do like about this aircraft, the profile mode and descent seems to work really well. Well, thanks for answering the poll as well on the community post. I was really surprised how many people wanted me to fly the DC-6. I mean, the MD-11 won by a fair margin, but I think it was a quarter of you wanted me to fly the DC-6, so I think we'll have to fire that up again soon. It's quite a challenge to fly, if I remember rightly. Yeah, when you have the products from Phoenix, for example, on their tablet, and then you can compare it to this, that's sort of the benchmark. It's okay, you can do some tweaking.
Skyline 6032, welcome to America.
Bounce, did I see decals to open the door, not on the door, but next to it? Is that correct? On the outside here? Yes. I should think that's not meant to be there, is it? Oh no, is that the handle there? I don't know. Sky team. Oh, look at the sun on the window. Cool. David, yes, I'm on that's Tomago. Yeah, there was also. Oh yeah, the Fokker. Yes. That actually wasn't very popular. Approaching 1 to go now. What's the maximum cruise altitude for the MD-11? I have no doubt we'll reach that today.
We can accept 310.
So max 416.
Roger, climb flight level 310, tower 802.
We're approaching 1 to go at 1400 feet per minute.
And it arrives at 02.
1 to go. So it goes amber, but you don't get any altitude horn. There's Sardinia on the nose. Flight level 430. Oh wow.
Alitalia 800, Roma radar contact, climb flight level 39.
Awesome. So responsible level off. It's just a little simple magenta dot hold.
Thank you very much.
And the other front will slowly reduce for us to maintain the
just walk
cruise button. So you only get the altitude when you're what, 100 feet to go? Cool, there we go. Well, the temperature in my office has peaked. Seems to be about 29 degrees. Oh, crikey. I've got a fan on behind me. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. Cool. We'll do a fuel check when we get to Usepi in 12 minutes. I like this, 18 miles in 12 minutes of this little display.
542, monitoring come 122.
Everything's all good here. Cabin altitude 7,500, stabilised. Trim's very high, nose up. And fuel 14.5 tonnes on board. Sweet.
One Echo, direct Charlie Juliet 432.
And that's the outside. Not a single cloud in the sky.
Charlie Juliet 430.
Got the 3 contrails, look.
432, look for the
Sweet. Still got that Microsoft Flight Sim wind noise.
When ready, descend flight level 100.
Just so far back as well. You actually look at the wingtips. The wingtips are sort of so far back. Oh, jet blast there. That's cool. Oh wow, look, there's some holes there. I don't know if they were painted like that. It's probably something to do with the APU. Or is the APU not there? I don't know. Awesome. Right, let's turn down the music slightly. So yeah, we'll only be in the cruise for about 25 minutes before we start setting up, maybe less than that. Go from there.
Can you please repeat for vacation 2?
Andrew, like the MD-11, very interesting aircraft by the way. In Russia in the 90s, they also operated a cargo modification of this aircraft at Aeroflot Cargo. That's very cool. Hello, Kat, hope you're doing well. How's it going so far? Just got back from ferrying some horses in the 7-3. Crikey. Yeah, it's good. You know, I've seen some mixed reports of this aircraft. But this is the sort of third flight I've done in it. Did a couple yesterday in the sweltering heat of my office. I quite like it. I think I think there's some improvements in sounds that could make takeoff and landing, like on Takeoff, the fact it just jumps off the nose, but it has all that MD11 goodness. Now, I know very little about TFDi Design, but they've been making aircraft for P3D, haven't they, including this one, or certainly for earlier versions of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But I understand they released this to P3 Prepared as well, so but yeah, it's pretty good.
125, that's not 5.
Oh, nice bit. There's a video on YouTube of the guy who actually records the voices. That's pretty cool.
Radar service 185.
Sounds
We
very
request
far away.
10 minutes out of cock.
Approve the callback.
Thank
Hi
you.
Tim, hope you're doing well. Do you still keep in touch with Pilot Mike? I've not heard from him for such a long time. Yeah, he's still in Discord. Just in the process of about to go back flying again, but he's a busy man these days. Doesn't usually pop into the streams very often, but he's still alive and kicking.
So the FX6 Quebec Hotel, wind.
They had released the 717 in P3D. They hadn't released the MD11 for P3 until this edition, which is also Microsoft Flight Sim. Got you. No, we've never flown a 717. It's not available in Microsoft Flight Sim, is it? Tomago, absolutely not.
And the Erica 1 Alpha arrival, I like to do.
Okay, I'm really tempted to get it since I love the MD11, but I don't know if I'd better be getting off the PMDG 777. Ooh, yeah. I mean, they're two very different aircraft. This is the logic and over the MD11 is quite unique. It's not much like it. It's sort of a hybrid Boeing Airbus mixture. I think the 777 is more polished from PMDG. But this is pretty good, and it has ACARS and CPDLC implementation. It works pretty nicely. It's just up to depending on what aircraft you want to fly. Straticus, are you going to try the FSS 727? Absolutely. Now I went in their Discord and I mentioned about receiving a copy, and they said, "Oh yeah, we'd." You go online and submit the form for a content creator request, which I did, but I've not heard anything since. So hopefully, if I don't get early access, no problem, I'll purchase it. But timing isn't great. I've got to go back to work tomorrow, 5 days, so I might be able to do it. But regardless, we'll fly on the channel.
544 wind 2005 knots.
Yeah, I heard Mr. Unicorn, it does work. Not tried it. Actually, is this controller using it? Oh, they are? So how on earth do I get into Super DLC? So I've got to log on first. The one thing I don't like about this add-on, there isn't much in the form of documentation. In fact, I couldn't find anything in the community folder. Whether it's online, I don't know, but nice if they had a tutorial flight or something like that to find. Ah, thanks, Sappy TV, Roma Radar here. Thanks for flying. You're welcome. We're still on your frequency. Oh, look at these differences between the two engines. You have to be in the log page. I can't remember where it is though. Okay, no flight log. No, that doesn't work. What's ADAS? No, these don't work. I don't want to. I want to get out of the development page. Maintenance page. Best get out of that as well.
I want to echo Palermo approach came online. 120 does not chop.
120, decimal 2,
Not
takeoff
sure.
service.
Not sure how to get on. I've definitely put my Hoppy. Well, I say I've put my Hoppy data here. It's probably reset, isn't it? No, Hoppy logon code's here. Lower MCDU doesn't work with CPLC at the moment. Ah, never mind, never mind. Flight Alpha arrived in Philly on a British Airways A350-1000 the other day. Got in the flight deck at the end of the flight. Very cool, awesome. Yeah, I've never been. Oh no, I have flown on an A350 actually years ago when it was quite new with Singapore Airlines, but never been in the cockpit. There we are. Overhead, Sardinia. Approaching. Well, we're not reaching to Sudan. We've got cleared direct to Seppi, but that's it down below. No doubt very warm and hot.
3156, leaving my airspace, monitor.
There's Corsica off to the north. Very nice. Oh, so sorry, you can't use the lower CDU.
1 cleared to Fiumicino, Cipro 7 Juliet departure, running 24, initial climb.
So I've just got to log in first, haven't I?
Cipro 7 Juliet, runway 24. It's a climb 6,000, slope 1,000, 071.
Yeah, I've just got to work out how to log in.
Rome Radar, hello again, the Monic 146, Airbus 8020, Alpha. Airbus 8020, stand is 106, ready to copy the currency.
Daryl, explain on Microsoft Flight Sim which you prefer flying on. They both have their pros and cons. Microsoft Flight Sim is, for me, the more stable sim at the moment. It looks great. Explain, I prefer how aircraft handle. Everyone pretty much knows that quite well. But you get a more complete package from Microsoft Flight Sim in its current state, that's for sure. Which aircraft do I prefer? Someone said, I can't find the comment now. Oh yeah, Helmax compared to the Rotate. Now I've not flown the Rotate MD-11 for a while. This on release is far better than the Rotate MD-11 was on release. But I know they've been chipping away and improving the Rotate MD-11 throughout. I remember the Rotate MD-11 being challenging to handle, but that's probably quite realistic as per the aircraft. This is much easier, but again, that could be a limitation in this simulator. So really, it goes down to which aircraft and sim you prefer. I think this on release is actually pretty good. I think the systems modelling is quite nice. I've been seeing mixed reports in Reddit and some other forums, but for me personally, I quite like it. No fixture reference button, although takeoff approach, thank you. Aha. Thanks for that, whoever that was. Fugo Taro. Right, so centre. Well, we're getting to the edge of his boundary now, but we can log on.
Squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, right, that's right.
Yeah, we're right on the edge of his boundary now, unfortunately.
Unicor 128, Lufthansa to Takeoff Center.
But it's great to see that developers are utilising these features, because CPDLC is all part of, I don't know about outside of Europe, but in Europe it's mandatory now, above 20,500, so we're all using it. Anyway, 1 minute until we get to Usepe. Let's just do a little fuel and time check.
By the arrival rear service terminated via Derux, clear letter to 201.
There we are, Usepe, so we should be there after 27 minutes. Probably 28 on the timer. Should have 12.3 tons of fuel on board. We've got 13.4. CPDLC 80 combo established. Very good. That's an interesting sound. So we seem to be saving quite a bit of fuel. 13,350. And the flight plan said we should have 12,284. So we saved about a ton. And fuel use 6.3 tons at Usepe. This is saying 1,700 aside, so 83654, so 52. Yeah, we've saved about a ton of fuel. So I don't know if the flight plan's a bit conservative, But we're burning a lot less fuel than what the flight plan's suggesting.
46 Charlie Papa at La Medicina. Alpha clears to Bergamo.
46 Charlie Papa cleared the Bergamo, Arbum 7 runway departure, runway 28, initial climb 5,000, scope 1,000.
Excuse me, guys. There we are, overhead Giuseppe anyway. I'd rather have more fuel than less. And this is factored, I think, in the flight plan. This is the profile for the General Electric and TFDi MD-11.
Latina, Lima Alpha Tango, cleared the Latina, 3 Alpha Right.
Yeah, beautiful. I haven't seen a cloud in the whole sim all day. Oops, sorry, no, Krishna. And now it's just the Mediterranean all the way until we hit the coast of North Africa. Into Algiers, the capital.
QNH 1012.
Session was QNH 1012 retail was 7.
Austin 544, direct XOL, TAC1, Belarus.
Cool. Next is Rekin, which is at 16 minutes, 120 miles. And top of descent is depicted as a little magenta down arrow, so that's 160 miles. Yeah, it's about 190, 200 miles to go. Mr. Unicom, seeing the same weather as you. I'm actually about to fly under you in a few miles heading south. Oh, very good. Oh, absolutely, Tomago, yeah. Even if the seatbelt sign is off, you should keep it loosely fastened, because turbulence can happen any time with clear turbulence. Unlikely to get away, but you can hit it off large jet.
146,
always, so why not?
By Quebec, Mike Golf.
Love this sticker.
Malik 146, clear taxi, Foxtrot.
Yeah, the PFD looks really good. Yeah, I have to say, some people are complaining about the textures. I mean, yeah, they're a bit basic, aren't they? Sort of ported really from P3D, but I think the actual cockpit looks really good. Show you around the cockpit. So, a random little jump seat here. I don't know if that was some sort of engineering station in the early version, but he's facing the wrong way. You do have lots of space here. All the emergency equipment at the back of the door. Oh yes, I forgot to comment. This is the most aggressive door opening I've ever seen on any add-on. It's not very loud, but it's a very quick open. Yeah, it's quite a nice cabin. Here's, I guess, business or premium economy, I'm not sure. I think it's just a generic cabin. Obviously, this will be themed in Alitalia. And then you have the wide body 2. Oh, what's this? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 2. Oh, Gidicom, thanks for the ATC Alitalia 11 My Delta. Ciao.
Yeah.
That was great, and he provided ATC. And he was actually the first controller we spoke to, and he popped into chat as well. So thank you very much if you're still here for the service. And I best terminate the CPDLC, I guess. Oh no, he's done it already. ATC-com terminated. Perfect. That's exactly what happens in the FMC and the 7.3. No, the FMC is really good on this add-on. And last time I flew the MD-11, sort of the ETAs and the FMS were sort of broken with the Rotate one. But this it does feel complete. It's nice to actually. A lot of add-ons sort of have been released sort of early access, haven't they? They're not being sort of at the best and sort of updated as it goes along. This does feel, for me, quite polished. 252, yeah, it's a weird. That's a weird arrangement. 252. Just imagine sitting in the middle seat with 5 seats. Absolutely. Oh, Sappy, I sent you a message to monitor Unicom via CPDLC. Did you not receive it? We didn't get a ding. And now we've logged off, so that was under ref. HC-com. Now we've logged off now, so I don't know if you can still see logs. Ah, so we've got log on, current HC units. Yeah, so here's the message. It never pinged through. Now I've logged off, it probably won't work, but I'll accept it. Wilco, send. But it didn't ping up. I didn't hear it ping up. If I did, I missed it. But thanks, Sappy TV, for trying to ping it anyway. I know Longcat, but just to show you, I did a bit of digging earlier. Have a look at this. Because I thought it was just some sort of glitch or bug. Let me just load this up so you guys can see it. So, why's that not opening? Oh, there we go. Look what I found on the interweb. So it's a video from this very aircraft. 1996, MD11. Look! Look! What do you see? A massive Q&H sticker! There you go. So why did the Italians need that big sticker? So they're going from J-Berg. No passenger variants of this beast anymore. So they had the giant Q&H sticker. Filmed using a potato, 1996. It's cool, isn't it? So there you go. It's all correct. It's nice that they've added that. %, realism achieved. Cool. So there's wrecking the next waypoint, a little oscillation in our flight level. Can't quite see. We can still see Sardinia, but on our left, in the distance there, you can just see on the horizon north coast of Africa. I love this as well. The little headwind and tailwind, sorry, headwind and crosswind component. The slight headwind, mostly crosswinds. Big sticker's written in blood. Yeah, it's very blood colour, isn't it? It took me a while to get this all set up as well with the yoke and these controls. I've got my 3 thrust levers. But just like in X-Plane I found in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you can save profiles per aircraft. So I've set one up now for the MD-11 with the reversers, the engines. Just need to switch out the engine number 1 with the speed brake and vice versa. That, Stefan, it does seem a very reactionary thing. It makes me think that they maybe were on Inches of Mercury when they should have been on Q&H. This does seem like a reactionary thing to do. Put a giant sticker saying Q&H on. We will never know. Maybe they kept mixing up letters from the radio, possibly. Ah, so there's an ATC message here, but we didn't get any oral sort of ding-dong from that. They're going to say message the whole time. Erase log. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Nice to have it then. Kind of can you do another fail stream again? That was really fun. They are very popular. I've only done, it's only my 3rd stream, and excluding the members ones in the last sort of 3 or 4 weeks, just because of not being 100% with the chest infection I had. And I am coming up to a busy period, but PMDG DC6 has been something that's been flagged up. I think the 727 when that comes out will deserve at least a couple of streams. Maybe jump into this again. Yeah, kind of a bit like the big huge rudder button. Stop rudder inputs on the 300. Oh, God, that would have been a good suggestion. But yeah, unique to the Alitalia MD-11, or maybe it was just yeah. Well, it's on that video. It's on that video. So top of descent, pretty much coincides with that waypoint called Buri. And I don't know if it shows you top of descent on one of these pages. Well, you can see Buri there, 37. It's about 10. That was only 10 minutes. I better start setting up, hadn't I? Actually, is that right? 160 miles, probably. There's less than that now. What's the time? Right, the sim. Yeah, it's all bang on. Right, well let's start sort of setting up for the approach. We're just past the halfway point to the west of Sardinia. So the setup, there really isn't a huge amount to do. May I be reminded though, do you have to go to the Navrad page to put the ILS in course manually, or is it Airbus enough for you to not have to do that? And on my test sectors I put it in manually and it did work. So you can see at the moment it's got a random course. I think you have to do it manually every time. Anyway, let's have a look. So firstly, Algiers, the airport I can't pronounce. No stars. Straight in then, off the approach. The weather, it's 32 degrees, winds from the north, it's cav okay. So actually, it's probably favouring now. Yeah, runway 23 is what we're actually planning. It's a 7 knot tailwind. Interesting. Let's have a think about what landing runway we should plan for here, because I don't think they'll be landing on 23 anymore with that sort of tailwind. Let's have a little look here. Message from someone, I don't understand. I'm just having a look at flight radar to try and work out what runway they're using in Algiers. Oh, they're landing on 2-3 still. Okay, well, maybe they prefer that to a 7 knot tailwind. Yeah, I'm just looking on flight radar. There's a little Dash 8 about to land, and on final an Air France aircraft from De Gaulle on a 1300 feet final. Okay, well, let's plan with 2-3 then. They probably prefer it up to a certain tailwind. 7 knot tailwind's absolutely fine anyway. We actually have a 10 knot tailwind approval on certain runways. We can actually land up to 15 knots. So, straight in then. There's no star. We've just got to look right on the ILS. So, approach ILS 23. Pin that. So we're going to be routing pretty much direct after Limon to Zulu Echo Mike to the east of the field. So there's a little transition, then we're then going to go westbound 271 to intercept the ILS. It's a really nice arrival actually for a straight in, keeping it nice and simple. Let's just get rid of the overlay, just get the full size chart. So the frequency is 110.3. I will put that in manually as per my test sector, because it definitely then does work with the ILS. So 110.3. The course is 231 on the final approach track. So that works. You can select localizer only if you wish. There's an NDB look on the extended centre line, just within 10 miles. The Regalia, or the Rig High 342. You can tune that. There we go. No, it's automatic once you're in range. Oh, I put it manually now, and you can see, look, because I put it manually, you do have glide slope and localizer deviation, and there's a different ident there. Oops, well, I put it in there. Terrain-wise, quite a lot actually to the southeast, 8,900, 5,100 to the north, but we'll make sure if anything happens we stick to the north, where the Mediterranean is as well. Frequency course is the minimums then. What category is this? Probably a D. Let's go Cat D. 305, 230 feet above the ground. RVR required 550 meters. So let's set 305 on the altimeter. Switch that to Barrow. 305. So frequencies, courses, and minimums are all set. Straight in from the Zemuri VOR to the extended sense line onto the ILS. It's 3 degrees. Don't think there's any way of checking that in the FMC. Just move Navigraph over here, make it a bit bigger for you guys. No path here. There's quite a lot of information you can put in, isn't there? Holding, I think, no doubt that will do that very well. Fixed rings, I think. Is that as per the Boeing? I don't think it works, does it? No. I could put them on around the runway, but we'll leave it blank for now. Cool. So the ILS we've planned for, straight in, we'll utilise the profile modes. Landing on runway 23 then, with the tailwind. 3,500 metres, nice long runway. So we'll go here to performance. DAAG, runway 23. Make sure you guys can see it as well. Import the weather. So tailwind 7 knots, that's correct. 32 degrees, QNH 1012. Landing weights we can get from the FMC. I think it's on a takeoff approach. So that I think takes your fuel burn into account, so 179.3. Water brake low, we'll try. Reverses all, flap 35 calculates. So it does have a displaced threshold. So landing beyond the glide slope 3157. We actually have a quoted distance of 3066, not sure why it varies, but we'll go with that. Estimated landing distance 2,300 metres, it's saying we have 2975 available, so we're using about just under 2/3 of the runway with a water breaker low, which will work out well because we want to get to the end. We'll plan to vacate. If we don't take the high speed at Delta 4, we'll take the 90 degree at Delta 2 or the end at Charlie 3, but depends if there's aircraft on short final. And then we'll taxi out to stand. So performance calculator is very basic, but it works. It's something for us to use. What about to minimum? And then inserting the data, as someone pointed out, you don't have to put it in the course and ILS frequency manually, you can do it yourself. Tarango says, if you don't butter, don't worry, it's an MD11. Yes, I've got full excuses today. Hi, swim and climb. Just in from work with a cup of tea. Now I can relax while I go swimming in the sea. Flight to Sim, will you be flying the DC-6 soon? And will you get the Boeing 727-3 freighter? Yes, I did respond to your comment on YouTube and said both. So we'll be flying both the DC-6 soon. How soon, I don't know, but it was quite a popular request, actually. And then we'll have a look at the 727 freighter. Be it if I do get early access, they seem quite. You know, I spoke to one of the devs and opened a ticket in the Discord and said, oh yeah, we're happy to do that. They said fill in the form online. I've not heard anything since. So regardless of when I get it, we'll definitely fly it, swim and climb. We are blasting along here. Hi Kanopki, thank you very much for your generous donation, €6, but I've just seen that ping through. It'll come across in chat very, very soon. I'll see what it reads out, it's quite funny. Motorbike in the ground. It's a timeless livery, isn't it? Everyone recognises that worldwide. Top percent is coming up. Very just under. Yeah, now it's about 10 minutes. Perfect. Yeah, I remember as well, Stefan, there's loads of... this aircraft was quite challenging to land. Well, it is challenging to land still, still flying of course. So yeah, I've made notes when I flew the rotating MD-11 and said don't flare at 20 feet, it doesn't work. So someone said earlier, flare around 40. But yeah, well, the flight recorder works with this, which is quite cool. So we can analyse my landing after we get on to stand.
20.
Yeah, once again, thanks a lot, Koloki, for your €6, sir. Very, very generous, thank you.
Hello Captain, once you fly the cargo variant of this bird I need to make sure my motorbike is at the ramp. You just need to adjust the CG slightly. Smiley
Brilliant.
face.
Thank you very much, Kulupki, whose motorbike is often on our cargo flights, so you're doing well. And thank you for your generous donation. Yes, we'll adjust your CG slightly. James West, I highly recommend watching the PMDG DC6 tutorials. There's a lot more engine management and touchiness compared to the standard gas turbine. Yeah, I remember when I flew it earlier. We've flown on a number of streams, and I've got my notes on it. And you've got that really useful virtual flight engineer who sort of will fiddle with all the temperatures for you. Cause those old piston engine aircraft, you really had to respect the engines and keep them within their operating window. They could easily be mishandled. And I think one of the things I struggled with in the DC6 was actual, maintaining speed on approach. You sort of had to minimise engine movement and use the flaps more to control the speed. The idea was, you didn't touch the power levers or just touch them as little as possible. There's little quirks like that when the F-28, not the F-28, sorry, was it the F-28? Am I thinking of something else? The little, just like Fokker. The engines don't like being changed all the time. They actually recommend on short final, you keep the, one of the engine parameters, I don't know if it's N1 or N2 above 80%, and control the speed with the gigantic speed brake. They don't want you constantly changing the engines on those old jets, whereas on a modern turbofan engine like on CFM, there's so much flexibility with its use. You can just adjust thrust as required all the time. Did have a good holiday? Yes, lovely breaks were in climb. Went to Somerset, lovely weather. Went to Cheddar Gorge, into the caves. Jack loved it as well. Posted some videos on Instagram. Oh, Mr. Unicorn, everything you say I'll forget. I'll post it here. 64 to 78%, M1, flats 35, flare 50 feet, pitch 7 to 8 degrees. Pitching to 7 to 8 degrees though, there's no airliner you should be looking inside to find your tug altitude. You should be looking towards the end of the runway to judge your flare. But it is a long aircraft, so I think when you do touch down, compared to what I'm used to in the NG or the Max, I'm going to be a lot higher above the ground. Engineer Gaming, looks like some Alitalia MD-11s had the stick and some didn't. There's a video showing an Alitalia crew using QFE on the ground in MD-11. So maybe if they were using QFE, so the altimeter reads 0 on the ground, they had to put that as a reminder to set the QNH. Maybe something happened and they added the sticker to all aircraft on a later date. .728 is what Simbit World told me to use. Well, that sounds about right, Mr. Unicorn. And the NG is about 2 to 3 degrees, but again, we're not looking at the PFD during the flare. Catherine, yeah, so in Europe, many parts of the world, they don't follow the standard sort of rules. They actually fly levels and which might not be as per the standard sort of ICAO direction with the odds and evens. So I think usually westbound, and yeah, I mean we just follow the flight plan, but it is odds westbound in this part of the world. Cool. Can't quite see Algeria yet, but North Africa is on the left hand side. Top percent's coming up just outside of 20 miles. For a straight in on runway 23. Yeah, it's gotten us here safely so far. Wonderful. Don't think we'll get any ATC in Algiers this evening. But you never know. Aaron, no. It wasn't the DC-6, it was the Boeing 247, which I think the developers just, it doesn't do anything now. The Wing 247, the Wing 42, that's the developer, who made a really cool aircraft. The first commercial twin-engine aircraft, wasn't it? Built in the late 20s, early 30s. Yeah, the engine management, that was really tricky, but yeah, I don't think it's been updated in years. Someone told me there's a third-party person who's sort of fixing it and keeping it up to date for free of charge. So yes, we ended up in the Hawaii in the Pacific Ocean, if I remember, with nice music playing in the background. Excuse me. So there's top of descent, ladies and gentlemen. Approaching the arrow. just... I swear that stays 20 miles the whole time. That's the 20-mile ring, isn't it? Well, if I select a lower level, will it automatically descend? Like the 7.3? Perfect, thanks Mr. Unicorn. Mr. Unicorn, you have been very helpful in giving me little tips on how to fly the MD-11. I appreciate it, thank you. Yeah, I like it. We'll definitely fly this again. Oh yeah, one thing I think. I haven't tested the wipe animation. Very nice. Does it actually wipe water? Who knows? I like where the wipers are as well. Parked up there instead of on the NG where they sort of stick up and block the window. Cool. So, there's no restrictions on this arrival. There's no star, so what we'll do is have a look at the ILS there. So maximum is 10,000, minimum is flight level 50. I'm happy to go all the way down. Well, let's set something like flight level 80. Transition altitude is much higher, and then when we sort of get onto the arrival, we can sort of step down visually. So we're approaching the top descent point. Let's set flight level 80.
Altitude.
Thanks, Betty. And monitor what happens passing the top of descent point. Yeah, flight level 80 set. Yep, flight recorder. I will start in the background, and then if someone gives me a little reminder to start it on final, I'll do my best. Right, so flight recorder's on. I just only start the replay when we're sort of within 15 miles. So approaching top of descent point. Oh, Mr. Unicorn, you're one of the testers. I got a lot of time in this aircraft. Excellent. So let's just monitor the automation. So passing the arrow. There we go. Now that is an aggressive pitch down. If you were at 3,000 feet within 4 seconds, you'd be floating in your seat. So they need to adjust that sort of transition from cruise to descent. That's very aggressive. Should be a lot smoother than that. You would have ended up in the overhead lockers. But down we go, in profile. So like in VNAV path, I think this prioritises the path, but the thrust will adjust to maintain the speed. And, you know, straight in, distance. 120 miles, 36,000 feet, so yeah, it makes sense. Tamango, your meatballs are floating, brilliant. We haven't made any Mario references all day. Oh, I'll tell you what, I've been having some nostalgia here. Who here owned a Game Boy? It came up on my YouTube recommended feed. The original Game Boy Super Mario music from level 1, level 2, which was like in a desert, and honestly I hadn't heard it since I was a boy. Honestly, it was like, oh my goodness me. And I had like the tune, and then I had Super Mario 2 with the coins. Oh, it's just epic. I was just playing it back. Yeah, black and white one. I had the OG Game Boy. I think it was like my birthday when I got one with my birthday. I was like 5 or 6 years old. Had the Game Boy. Never had Game Boy Color. I went straight to Game Boy Advance. But I had all the Super Marios. I had Wario. No. Oh, what was the little bomber guy called? The Bomber World, wasn't it? I can't remember what it's called. Then obviously Pokemon Red. Oh, it was classics. Classics. Down we go, 7280, in profile, aircraft's maintaining around 266 knots, or I think it's prioritising Mach actually. So it's going to maintain decimal 779 and at some point convert to an indicated airspeed. Where you find that information, I'm unsure, but at the moment the order fiddle's maintaining that speed. It's descending around 2,500 feet per minute. Mega Man, was that it? Bomberman, no Bomberman, thanks Ali. Yeah, I know. Swimming climb, that stuff is valuable. Welcome. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome aboard, Anil Sahin. Hope you're doing well. There is Algiers, the north coast of Africa. Stunning in this sim. It's been a beautiful day in the whole of the Mediterranean as well. It's the perfect day to go flying. Oh, shame this isn't working with New Sky then. So that means we can't. Alpaca Airways start utilising this aircraft. Another thing, it's such a brutish aircraft that you can extend the slats at such high speed. So look, slats extension below 280 knots, no problem. And then flap 1 through to 15, 255 knots. Now what I'm going to do is use dialer flap to find like an intermediate flap setting between slats up and then flap 28. So what I'm going to do is probably use 15. As long as you're between 1 and 15 degrees, the max speed's 255 knots. Which is pretty epic. Let's go 14 just to give it plenty of margin. And then the configuration for gear down, is it gear down first, then flap 28? Because I think if you go flap 28 without the gear down, it starts moaning at you. To have a look at the little guidance here. So before landing, order brake reset, arm the spoilers. What on earth was that ding? Was that a V-pilot, I think? Broadcast. Someone online on probation, a supervisor. Okay. Betty won't yell at you at flap 28. Oh, perfect. So I can go gear down flap 28 then. Perfect. So again, still maintaining Mach decimal 779. With fixed Mach number in descent, your indicated airspeed will slowly increase. Oh, Stratocaster. Yeah, the King Air. I've only flown once, I think, on this channel. Hi Hazel, hope you're doing well. Donkey Kong. Yeah, I never had. My stepdad bought us, myself and my stepbrothers, the first games console we had was a Sega Saturn, which I think was the first with a disc. And on the Sega Saturn we had NASCAR, we had the rally game, some fighting game which I can't remember. Oh, it was classic. And then we had PS1, PS2, PS3. Then I switched to Xbox. That was it, Daytona, USA. Classic on the Sega Saturn. And Rally 97 or 98. Oh, was it Virtua Fighter? I think so. I used to always play as this guy who had white hair and he used to drink from a hip flask and fall over on the fighting game. It was so funny. I can't remember what it's called now. No, never played Road Rash. Oh, I did play Road Rash on a friend. It was like with the motorbikes and you had chains, you could like hit each other. I'm a 90s kid, Stratocast. Hi Gabrielle, hope you're doing well. Still in profile mode, and now it's converted to hold speed, look, 330 knots. So, unlike the NG, it doesn't do an idle path descent, it'll hold the thrust and speed, so it's not quite as efficient, but it works well. Fuel on board, we needed 7.7 for our alternate Constantine. We've got loads of gas for 10.3 tons. This burns about 7 tons an hour in the hold. So, you know, we've got about 15-20 minutes, but it seems to be burning a little less fuel than what the flight plan suggests. Here we are, current temperature in the office now. I thought it peaked, it's slowly increased a bit more, 29.4. Best thing I bought off Amazon, that. £3. £3. Quite a quick descent speed, 330 knots, but look at that VMO, 360. You got AC, Cat? Thankfully it's not too humid today, so it's actually, it doesn't feel unbearable. blinds shut, blocking the sun. Passing flight level 200. So it was a rough descent check. We've got about 70 miles to run, so 7, 4, 21, 20. We're looking great for a straight in here. That's tempting, Ken. Pop up the seatbelt sign, around 15 minutes to landing. Love the glare of the sea, super cool. Yeah, I've got to sign in and you can see all my Navigraph stuff, so I won't use that today. Just leave on the performance page. I don't know if you can actually turn it off. First time landing in Algeria on a stream. I was looking at the map earlier. Still have the wrong ident here though. The ident for the ILS is Alpha Golf, India Mike Hotel here. So hopefully we'll get a bit closer, that will work. Tomato has 3 fuel tanks, I believe. Maybe does it have a tip tank or anything like that? But no, 3 fuel main tanks. Yeah, no, it does have an auxiliary tank and a tail tank. But yeah, these are the 3 main tanks. Theme Hostel Classic. There was an updated one as well on Steam, which I did buy when I was based up in Scotland 4 or 5 years ago, which was actually pretty good. So, will this deal in profile mode with a decel at 250 knots below 10,000? Is that programmed in? So we've got obviously a slowdown to 213 knots by the time we get to Zulu Echo Mike. Don't. Well, no, I didn't descent forecast. I didn't put any winds in. To be fair, it's mostly crosswinds, so it won't affect us. Oh my god, Bumble Tumble, Cat, and Fathom. What was it? Fathom, the one under the water. Oh my goodness me. Yeah. Didn't have Sky at home. As quoted by Rishi Sunak, our former Prime Minister, but my granddad did, so yeah, we used to play at the weekend. We went over. Lot, the Polish airline got a new E195 coming back from Parma, very cool. There's the coast coming into view. Very nice. Welcome to Algiers, Captain, said Ziozek. Thank you very much. So approaching sort of flight level 120, I just want to sort of monitor what happens approaching flight level 100. I don't know if the aircraft deals with the decel or you have to do it manually. I've been sort of told that the profile mode is sort of quite basic. In the real aircraft, that is. Realise it hasn't synced the minimums. Just send that over to Jim side 305. So yeah, approaching 1 to go. I think I need to deal with the decel. I just don't know if it's something this aircraft does. So let's select vertical speed. Now, one thing I've noticed is the vertical speed wheel is opposite to what I'd expect it to be. Yeah, so you see it's commanding 245 knots now, which is pretty good. So yeah, this is, if I was to rotate this down, I'd expect the rate of descent to increase. It's the opposite way around. Now, I don't know if that's a bug, or it's actually how the MD-11 works. It could be the MD-11 was opposite, but it makes sense to increase that for it to increase the rate of descent, but it's not, it's vice versa. So auto throttle's commanding 245 knots. I think it might have planned a decel, because I've just set VS 1000, and it's sort of paralleling the profile here. Not to worry, we'll just utilise different pitch mode to ensure we're doing 250 below 100s. If I delete this, will it automatically do its thing? That's actually got rid of the localizer glider deviation. So we'll go back to profile mode. So it's commanding 245 knots. So it's just doing a really shallow rate of descent to get back onto profile. Thrust is going to add some. Engine's going to add some thrust to maintain 245 knots. We're still inbound. Remember, there's no star here, but we're still inbound to the Zamuri VOR. And distance to go 30 miles, 6.9. We're looking good on height. Oh, look at this coast, looks fantastic. Don't know if we can see on the horizon. Straight ahead to the airport. No. Cool. Right, let's do the post-cruise check. So fuel is fine. We checked it a few minutes ago. Lights on. Pressurization's all fine as well. Seatbelts on. Check's complete. So approaching flight level 80. We'll now step down to the MSA, which is 5,100 feet in this sector. So, just make sure we're safe. We're visual anyway, it's a lovely day. Set local QNH. Magic B button, 1012. QNH. Passing 8,100 for 5,100. Now it's decelerating to 218 knots, which I think is the up speed. This profile mode is really nice. Ah, look! Add drag. Okay, we'll monitor that. Ah, look, it's picked up the localizer and glide slope automatically. So thanks for reminding me about that. Cool, it's tuned it. Very good. So let's help it out a little bit with drag, as it was asking for it. Add drag, so speed brake will extend. And there's the glide slope coming in. Very nice. The profile mode, like I said, works really well. Replay on, coming on very shortly. I'll just get on the intercept heading first. So 5,100, we're fully visual, so we'll now step down to 2,300 on the next track. I've actually slowed down quite early, we're 20 miles out, so I'll actually slowly... Oh no, that's no longer the speed brake, is it? It's engine number 1, so I'll have to do that. 2,300 feet.
Algiers.
Oh yeah, I forgot to forget to Unicom.
Flight level 100, 250, 20 track miles per hour.
There's no ATC. Callum, right, we've been discussing this all day. This is what was stamped to some Alitalia aircraft. So 17 miles. I'm actually going to select the slats now. Okay. Just to get a bit more drag. I'm actually going to use vertical speed around 1,500 or 1,300 feet per minute. That is classic in real life with the sun coming in your eye. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Bit of a frog in the throat. Perfect. So we're now commanding 218 knots. That's fine. I'm using VS to just stay on the glide slope. VS to finesse, I call this when we're training. I'll start the replay tool now. So that's recording. I've just logged off AT6. There's no ATC here. This is looking really good. So 180 knots has now been commanded by the auto throttle. We're still in profile mode for the pitch. Add drag, that's fine. 13 miles, 200 knots, that's okay. Alright, correct, single arm approach, so approach land, so lock armed and glide slope arms. Flies nicely, Callum, flies very nicely. That's been a great little CDA all the way down. We'll now select flat 15, or flat 14 with dialer flap, that's fine. Next thing will be gear down, which will drop about 8 miles or so. Maintain 180 knots. This is nice to fly. like the automation, apart from the aggressive pitch down at profile, it's very responsive and behaving as I'd expect.
Stabilizer motion.
Excellent. So it's stuck on a low trim at some point. It's engine, isn't it? It shows all the trim stuff. 3.5 units. One to go, but we'll leave it 2,300. That's the platform altitude. After glide slope capture, we'll set missed approach altitude, which is 2,470 feet. Oh, it's now commanding 150. Oh, I don't want to go that slow yet. Yeah. So how do I? So, you pull it, and then you push it in to say do that, don't you? I remember. 170 push. Perfect. Localizer is captured. Runway heading 231 is set, and we can now put that on FMS speed again, 155. Cool. Just it says glide slope armed. How do I capture the glide slope? Oh, land armed. It's already captured. White. I'm waiting for magenta here. This is looking lovely. Right. That's checked. We're all established. Flaps at 14. We've got a crosswind from the right. But remember, we should be having a tailwind. We're actually showing a headwind of 4 knots. Ooh, right, I'm going to drop the gear now. Gear down. Oh, stupid thing. There we are. Gear down. And there we are. It drops really quickly in the MD-11. Just wait for the green lights. And flap to 28. And we'll do the landing checklist. So arm the speed brake, nothing up here to do, just a landing flap to come, which we'll select shortly. Flap 35 we're going to use today.
Stabilizer motion.
Flap 35. VAP is 151. We've got 154, that's fine. I don't know why it's commanding that, not 151. Just turn up the sim slightly. So flaps, we've got 35. And we're all green here, checklist complete. Nicely done. So now, I've got to keep this picture. The altitude is quite high. I'm used to it being around 1 degree on the horizon. In this, it looks to be at around 4 degrees. We've got auto land armed. We are going to disconnect the automation prior to touchdown. The auto throttle's commanding 151 knots, which is our VAP. Let's see how we get on here. So let's turn on yoke cam. Don't laugh at me. I don't like flying this plane. So I'm just going to zoom in here slightly so it's easier to see the speeds and things. Right, let's disconnect the auto throttle.
Autopilot.
Or autopilot as well, it would seem.
Autopilot.
I thought I'd put that to the...
Autopilot. Autopilot.
Yes, it is off. How do I cancel it? There we go. So the speed, the auto throttle's just sort of matching up now with the speed. So I'm a bit low on speed. 151 we want. Come on. There we go. God, that was really slow to react. It seems to have ballooned me up. I don't know what the thrust pitch couple is like on this aircraft, but with underslung engines and an engine right at the top. God, the speed's all over. 151, come on. Oh, come on. 70%.
500.
Let's get back on speed. There we are. So on localizer, on glide, it's a slight crosswind from the left. Speed's good now. Lots of little changes, keep descending.
Approaching minimum.
Checked.
300.
Checked. Watch that rate of descent. A little low on speed again.
Minimum.
Continue.
Minimum.
What? Didn't say that on the test sector like that. Brilliant. So we're going to flare around 40-50 feet.
100.
Looking towards the end of the runway.
50. 40.
There.
30.
Close.
20. 10.
Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Can't teach it. Speed brakes up. Reverses. Oh, gently lower the nose. Can't teach it. 100 knots. 80 knots. 60 knots. Cancelling reverse. Manual braking. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to... where are we? I forgot where we're going. Agadir. No, not Agadir. Ah, no. Algiers. Not Agadir. God damn it. Oh, ruined my landing. That was a lovely, lovely butter. Right, I'm going to roll to the end. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Yeah, I have to say, I really do like this add-on. it works well. I flared at exactly where I was told to. It was easy to judge when flaring that much higher. Yeah, why do I keep saying idea? Yeah, I have to say I like it. Don't see. So, I'm unfamiliar with the MD-11, so the guys who know this aircraft well will know all the little quirks and perks about it and things that might not be modelled accurately. But for you know what it at the end of the day is an entertainment product on a flight simulator, I think it flies really nicely. Right, so well, I did log off about 6. There was no ATC. We're going to vacate the runway here at the end. This is just default scenery again. Although it has a slight again adjustment based off of something I downloaded off online. Trim's really high up at 9.8 units. I don't know if that's usual. But what we're going to do is vacate Delta here, Bravo 4, carry on a straight line, and I think I'm just going to take one of these remote stands. I think with GSX, the default one here, it literally has nothing available for this. Oh, one parking space, which is here, gate 3, which doesn't match any of the charts there. So I'm not going to bother with GSX. We're just going to do the proper clean inflow and then go straight into the replays afterwards. So what I'll do, I'll actually deactivate that and then restart Koodle, whatever it's called. So let's do that and deselect GSX. Perfect. Yeah, very nice. So what we'll do, we'll carry on a straight line, and I think what we'll do, we'll take one of these remote stands. Look, actually no, we'll take a right turn here on Alpha. We'll take one somewhere in front of the terminal. Very good. So clean up flow. I can put the flaps up now. Speed brake stowed. Water brake has. Oops. Try to get this off and put the speed brake back. Vacating the runway. Oh, I forgot to set the missed approach attitude on glide slope capture. That's the only thing I forgot to do. Taxi and landing light on. Yeah, again the default airport. We'll just take a left here and we'll aim for one of these air bridges. Oh cool, that's nice to know, Aaron, but I don't want to end up on a gate which is obviously not applicable on VATSIM. Now one thing as well, I'm taxiing here, doing 6 knots. Oh, there you go. I think there's a sweet spot. So if you get sort of above 7 knots, the same amount of rudder input I'm using massively increases the turn radius. Let's get the APU started, which is up here. There we go. Set that to 3,100. Yeah, I think pretty happy with how that's all worked out. Strobes are off. Beautiful. Replay's been stopped. I forgot to put my taxi music, but never mind. Now I don't know if this stand here is going to be suitable for us, but what we'll do is we'll take this right here. If it was an event or something, I might have considered. There was some scenery available, but I didn't bother. Taxi light off. Turn off lights off. Landed with 9 tons, needed 7.7 for old tons, so I had 1.3 extra, which actually, the time we actually landed is around what we were expecting. Yeah, Mr. Unicorn, I agree. If you ease off on the rudder slightly, yeah. Coming in a bit hot, I'm going to upset any marshalling. I'll go with that. Sweet. So, parking brake set. Trim probably should reset to the green band or something. Oh, weather radar's still on. So, transponder to standby, now on stand. Weather radar off. Trim is. Oops, oh, I've been trimming the wrong way. Probably should have cancelled the horn here. AP power available, perfect. So I don't think you have to do anything automatically. Just shut the engines down. There you go. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Algiers. So I won't use GSX. Just, I don't have a profile or anything for this default airport. I like it. I have to say I like it. Look at the outflow valve there, massively open. So, what do you guys think of it? You know, I think it was Was it available in early access or beta or something like that? I don't know, but no, I think it's quite polished. I'm not an expert in the MD11. I've not flown it much. I've flown the Rotate one and X-Plane 12 a few times. I've liked that add-on, even when it was released and it was quite broken, but that's improved to be quite a good add-on. But no, on release here it works nicely. I like the autopilot and the automation and how the aircraft reacts to that. The systems modelling seems really good. The takeoff, the handling is just, again, the sim. It rotated on its own. I don't think that was great, but actually on the flare there, that felt quite nice. I had more pitch authority in comparison to the Rotate MD-11, maybe more than I perhaps should have had in this aircraft. I don't know, but yeah, I'd say it's good. Maybe the pricing is a bit steep, so I know in comparison to the sort of like the Phoenix and PMDG, it's a little bit more. But I don't know, if you love the MD-11, you're probably happy paying that. But yeah, I'm glad I bought it, and it is an aircraft that's always going to have a heart in every AvGeeks, or a place in every AvGeeks sort of library, and it's a classic. But yeah, really happy with it. Flew nicely, and would I recommend getting it? I would, if you really like the MD-11. It was no open beta alpha to my recollection. Very interesting work, Sian. Joseph, loved the PMDG one back in the day, and I've somehow waited for so long not buying the Rotate one. We'll buy this one at some point. Very, very cool. Yeah, Swango, the passengers are stuck here, but I don't know how it would work without a GSX profile and not parking at the correct stand. Probably some random buses. Yeah, Aaron, I've seen this before. Skidding of the nose gear. Yeah, if you even on a dry runway, full tiller, it'll start scrubbing at around 7 or 8 knots. It depends on the state of the tyre and the wheel, but when you turn slowly, in the NG at least, sort of 3 or 4 knots, there's still plenty of inertia as long as it's flat. It doesn't just stop. John, considering this is not the easiest plane to land, especially in Microsoft Flight Sim, you did a good job. Oh, thank you. Yes, I'm pretty happy with that landing. We'll look at a replay shortly. James Kirk, thank you as well to all the inputs throughout the day from everyone and helping with the MD-11, because I don't fly this aircraft often. You can have a crap approach, passengers only remember the landing. That is very, very true. Awesome. So yeah, it is now available. I can't remember the exact pricing. Purchased it yesterday, but it's a fun aircraft and one you should consider adding to your library. Perfect. I can't wait to fly an Alpaca Airways airport as well. Right, so we've logged off of that sim already. I'll turn off Fly Live here and we'll call that a day. Nice short stream. Thanks again for putting up with my coughs. As you can probably tell if you've been watching my last few streams, a lot better than as of late. So yeah, go back to work tomorrow, and no doubt the 727, as soon as I get access to that, I will fly that again. Well, fly that again. Well, I say again, I have not flown it since the FlyJ Sim one in X-Plane, but looking forward to flying that soon. Right then, so what we'll do is we'll just actually load up a panel state for the approach. This worked quite well. So ready to fly. I'm going to put the flaps to 35, which we had on the approach, and we'll activate the replay. And it did work on the test sector quite nicely. So let's turn on the replay music. Replay. From about 4,000 feet. We'll pause it. And there we go. Let's have a look at this landing. I think it was pretty decent, if I'm honest. Oh yes, the wheel screech sounds are really quite amusing. But yeah, the flaps and animations I have to do manually. But yeah, this was a nice landing for the MD-11. Certainly the best one I've ever done. So we flared at about 40 feet. Done now. Close the thrust. Bit long. Yeah, it looked better from the cockpit. What? It's got a tuning fork attached to the front of the nose wheel. Look at that centerline tracking, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look again from another angle. I don't know what's going to be best actually. From right next to the main gear. There's the flare. Ah, lovely. Oh, is the main gear only touchdown sort of after landing? Oh, there we go. It's after the nose gear. Cool. Yeah, the reverses I've got to do, sorry. Oh, they're not working, unfortunately, on the replay. Look at that outflow valve. It's like a flipping barn door. Yeah, they're not working. Nice, the oh, the spoilers have come up. That's cool. Tummy wheels, love it. Big lights that stick out as well on the fuselage. Very cool. Cool. Well, hopefully a decent replay tool with Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 when that's released. That'd be nice. Right then, let's pop you in the wing view. I don't know if I can control any of these things. Yes, I can. So you can enjoy the approach from the right-hand side. Just put it a little bit further back. There we go, throw around there. That'll do. Awesome. Well, thank you once again for popping in, watching another Flight Data Sim live stream. In the TFDi Design MD-11, it is available now to purchase it, as I just mentioned a few minutes ago. Seems like a fine add-on. Quite liked it, and we'll fly it again soon. To everyone that donated, thank you very much for your generosity. To all the regular viewers and subscribers, thank you very much for popping in. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed the content. And to all the members, thank you very much for your continued support as well. I'll catch you around on Discord later on today. Right, guys, enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you on another live stream very soon. Good night from me. Cheers, bro. Thank you.
Approaching minimum. Minimum. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.